Asim, you can go ahead.
Hello.
Yeah, you can go ahead, Asim.
Yes, sir. Pardon, sir.
Yeah, you can brief about. You just brief about your profile. What?
Okay, sir. Yes, sir. Myself, Asim Hussain, and I live in Lucknow, and I passed my MTech in 2013 batch, and after that, I had experience of 4 years in teaching. After leaving the teaching domain, I undergo a training in railway signaling design engineer at MS Ramaiah University, Bangalore. And after that, I got placed in Saint Hyderabad, which is just work from home only. And my last working year was 2021, because after that I have left that job due to COVID, and after that I upgrade myself, my skills in data analytics field, like learning different tools like Power BI, MySQL, Python, and some conceptual in AWS, also in Linux also. And yes, sir. Hello.
Dinesh?
Hello, good evening, everyone. I pursue 7 years of experience in total professional experience, out of which 4 year was in data analytics as a data analyst, and since 3 years I'm working as a lead analyst in healthcare sector. I put up in Delhi, and the company is based in multiple locations, and I have chosen Gurgaon. Currently, I'm working as a lead analyst. I'm working as a in many multiple in it's a cloud is AWS and Azure. And if I talk about the tools, then we are working on JS, Shell, SQL, Mongo, and automating different task reports. And we are at L1 level currently. The expectation is very simple, that I want to understand everything from the scratch. So currently we work on multiple DevOps tools like Grafana, PagerDuty, and Airflow. But it's all what we are given as a KT session from the other teams. But I want to learn its implementations, its backend, its everything, whatever what tools or what skills is required to set up any technology. So that is the main purpose of joining this.
Okay, thank you. And Karthik? Karthik, can you brief about yourself? And Manohar?
புதுச்சேரி இந்த பகுதிகளில் கன முதல் மிக கனமழை பெய்வதற்கான வாய்ப்பு இருப்பதை நம்மளால பார்க்க முடிகிறது. அப்படியே கொஞ்சம் கீழே இறங்கினோம்னா கடலூரை ஒட்டி.
Hello,
Yeah,
I'm Maurya.
go ahead, Manohar.
I have completed my diploma in mechanical engineering in 2020. So after that, I joined in Infosys. Like I have almost 3 year experience in Infosys. So, but I'm from mechanical background. I'm currently working in mechanical projects. So I want to shift my career change in like IT professional. So based on that, I joined this course. I mean, I want to develop my skill in DevOps.
Okay,
So yeah.
thank you. And Namrata? And I can see PY Kumar something. Kumar? Uh, Rajit? Ritesh?
Yeah, Ganesh. Myself, Ritesh, and I do have 13 plus years experience on primarily into the .NET technologies plus AWS I'm working on from last 5 to 6 years. That's it.
Thank you, Ritesh. And Vikash? Vaishnav?
Hello. Hello. Good evening, sir.
Yeah, Vikash, go ahead.
My name is Vikas Kumar Singh. Currently working in Airtel. 11 profile as a Linux administrator. Around 1 year work experience, sir.
Okay, got it. And Vaishnav? Yeah. Okay then. So team, we have Mr. Sudhir. So is the one going to give you overview of the course today and also further sessions. Yeah, Sudhir, you can go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Ganesh. Hi all. Very good evening. Myself, Sudhir Kumar. I've been working as a DevOps and AWS cloud engineer from past 8+ of years of experience I have. So I'm going to demonstrate about DevOps and the DevOps tools and why we need the DevOps and from where does this DevOps so become so popular and everything. I'm going to cover in this a short demo. Yeah, before I start, I would appreciate your introduction and your expectations. So trust me, I can give you practical knowledge and with some part of theoretical. So that's how I have designed my program. So right now, like you will not be able to get to know since it's a demo, but yeah, the lab sessions and way to practice and everything, I'll walk through in the regular classes. Yeah. So before I start, anybody has any questions or any doubts? Anything you want to ask? What and all I'll be covering, I'm going to cover in this demo. Apart from that, yes, if you have any other than that, you can ask.
Hello, sir. My name is Namrata.
Hey, hi, good evening, Namrata. How are you?
I'm fine. Actually, I was in mute during the introduction time.
I
So,
got
can I
it.
proceed?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah. So, my name is Namrata. I stay in Navi Mumbai. I completed diploma in computer engineering in 2014 only. After that, I had total 7 years of experience. I started my journey as a IT help desk. Then I work as a desktop support engineer, L2, then service desk and service desk L2. Currently working as a system admin profile in L&T company in Navi Mumbai only. So that's all about me.
Yep, that's great, Namrata. Thank you. Yep. Anybody want to take up or
Yeah,
any?
Yeah. So you will be going through course module, right? What with topics we are going to cover?
Yes, I will be. Yes.
Thank you.
Yep. Thanks. Yes. Any?
hi,
Yeah, Manohar. Hi. Good evening. How are
yeah,
you?
good evening. Yeah, fine.
Yeah.
So I want to just firstly confirm I doesn't have any bachelor degree.
Mm-hmm.
I just completed my diploma.
Mm-hmm.
So this session is helpful for me or but yeah.
Yeah. So regarding this, we will talk one to one. Okay.
Yeah,
Yes, this
I have
session definitely. Yeah.
I have 3 year experience in Infosys.
Okay. Yeah. You told me about you from mechanical background, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. We will discuss this one to one. Sure.
yeah, sure.
Even I also have same the question because for the big profile like cloud engineer or DevOps engineer, no, they
Mm-hmm.
ask a bachelor degree. If we are go as a diploma
Not
holder,
really. Okay. So
yeah.
even my friends does not have a bachelor degree. They come from different parts of education, but yes, they are working. Even one of my friend from mechanical and he did not get the job. Yes, he is trying for DevOps. Yes. Yep. Any other doubts? No. Okay. Let me share my screen. Let me know once you are able to see my screen or not. Okay. Yeah, are you able to see my screen, guys? All of you,
Yes.
just confirm.
Yes,
Cool.
sir.
Okay, I'm just presenting you a blank notepad.
Notepad.
Yeah. Okay. Good. So I think this session is recording. Yeah, it is recording. Cool. Thank you. So let me use my paint for a reason. Okay. So let us see like what is DevOps first. Then we will take up from why DevOps is so popular and from when this become more powerful. Okay, we will just understand. Okay, so first of all, what is DevOps? Okay, DevOps is not a tool. Okay, it's not a cloud technology. I'm talking about not. Okay, it's not something like a framework. Okay, DevOps is not what? DevOps is not a tool or a cloud service or framework. Okay, it's a methodology. What it is? It's a methodology, right? So the DevOps comes from two words. One is development and other one is ops. Okay, it has derived from the two words. One is development and the, if you have any problem with my noise or screen, right, let me know. I'll stop and then we'll proceed. Okay, two words, development and operations combined together. Here comes our DevOps. Okay, so what is DevOps? DevOps is not a tool, it's a methodology. Okay, it combines two words, that is development and operations. So we know what and all will be doing in the development. In the development side, developers will start uh, uh, writing the code, and operations team will be responsible for the all the network troubleshooting, security, impact deployments, and the releases parts and everything. Okay, let us just walk you through the Wikipedia about DevOps. Okay, so this DevOps is a methodology in the software industry. Okay, used a set of practices and tools. DevOps integrates and automates this work between development and IT operations. Right. So what DevOps is going to do? Right. So it integrates the automatic workflow between development team and operations team. Anybody has any questions? If not, please mute yourself. I'll take you the questions later. Ganesh, if we can mute Manohar if possible. I'm not able to. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, so this DevOps is a practice to integrate, automate the work of development and IT operations. Right? Automate, the main motto for DevOps is automation, guys. Very, very important. So this is another reason that DevOps become popular is automation. By using DevOps methodology, what we can achieve is automation. Right? Now we are in the automation world. So automation is the key for DevOps. Where it is going to automate? The very important things between development and operations, right? In the IT industry, right? So development and IT operations should be automated. You might ask me a question, Sudhir, like what do we automate things in a development? Writing the code? No, right? Not writing the code. There are other things developers will do, right? There are some repeated tasks developers will be doing it. For an example, they want to compile the code, they want to test the things, they want to deploy into some third-party server, right? Yes, etc. Right. So these kind of things can be automated with this DevOps methodology. Right. When it comes to IT operations, yes, ops team will be involved for all networking, security, and releases part, right? So this can be automated with the help of DevOps methodology. Is that clear, all of you? Is that clear? This point up to here, it's clear. Anybody has any questions? Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, thanks. So if you see this, automate the work in development IT operations for improving and shortening the software development life cycle. Software development life cycle, SDLC. I think most of you know what is SDLC, right? So let me come out from DevOps. Okay, first let us understand what is SDLC. Anyone know what is SDLC, guys? I think most of them know what is SDLC. Anybody can brief what is SDLC?
System development life cycle.
Yes, right. So let me tell you what is meant by SDLC. Okay, so SDLC, it's a step-by-step process to develop the applications, right? So let me open my PPT. Yeah, so this SDLC, software development lifecycle, is a process used by the software industries to design, develop, and test high quality softwares. Okay, so SDLC is a process to design the applications. Step-by-step process. SDLC is a step-by-step process every IT industry will follow to design, develop, test their applications. I mean, why SDLC is coming in DevOps, right? So you might get that question. We are not talking about DevOps yet. We're talking about SDLC, right? So by using SDLC, companies, organizations will develop the application in a phase by phase. Okay, so they were talking about applications, what kind of application it is, right? It could be web, it could be mobile, right? Some desktop applications, etc. Right? To develop these applications, every IT industry follows some steps, right? Some process, some face-to-face steps they'll follow. All those steps we'll call it as a SDLC methods, SDLC life cycle, right? So what are those steps? One is requirement phase. There are 7 phases, guys. One is requirement phase. I'll explain each and everything. Then you will understand uh, why DevOps is important. Okay, and from where does this? I mean, from when the DevOps becomes so popular? Okay, so to understand that, we need to understand about SDLC. Okay, SDLC governance. So requirement phase, total 7 phases organizations uses to develop the applications. One is requirement phase, and then planning phase, and then designing phase, and then development phase. If you don't have any close questions, right, please be on mute. I'll take up the questions later. And then testing phase. Yeah, any questions? Yeah, go ahead, please, if you have any questions. Maintenance.
No.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, so these are the 7 phases organizations will follow to develop the applications. I mean, do they really follow? Yes, they do follow to develop the application. You take any applications, Amazon.com, Flipkart.com, Myntra, whatever it is, right? Trust me, they'll follow all these things, right? So 7 phases. If I wanted to put a diagram, SDLC diagram. Yeah, right. So this maybe words change, but yeah. So diagram. So this SDLC requirement, and analysis they might do at once, but yeah, analysis phase, planning phase, designing, designing, development is nothing but coding, testing, deployment, and maintenance. 7 phases. Let's talk about each phase one by one. So what is meant by requirement phase? So if a IT industry wants to develop an application, suppose web application, something like abc.com, right? So it's going to be e-commerce, right? So I want to develop a e-commerce abc.com application, right? So first they need to come up with what kind of application they want to design. So they need to have their requirement in hand. Yes, we're going to develop a web application, right? It's going to be e-commerce, right? It should use Java as the backend or Node.js as a front end and database, some etc. These things, their requirement, right? And under e-commerce, we will be selling out the mobiles, electronics, these kind of goods we will sell, right? So what do they do? All CEOs, CTO, marketing, all the head of the department will sit together and they will discuss about the requirement, what kind of application we should develop in a requirement phase. Not only that, they will document it. They will document it clearly, right? So once their requirement is finished, right, then starts the planning phase. Planning phase means what? They should discuss internally. Okay, we want to develop a e-commerce application, right? So this is the time frame, 6 months, and this is some X budget, like 4 lakhs or something, right? So is manpower is enough for us or not, right? So I mean, employees, manpower is nothing but employees, right? Is enough or not, or do we need to hire someone, some extra resources for this, right? So everybody internally they will discuss about the plan, what they are going to develop, what kind of application they are going to develop, right? Here, planning phase. Once they get green, right, go ahead for project, they need to design the architecture like servers, hardware. I mean, it comes everything, right? So everything they need to design here, complete architecture, how many servers, uh, what cloud will go on, everything, complete architecture, they need to design it. Once everything is ready, servers, databases, and everything is ready, right? So what will happen? Then comes development phase. So here, developers will start writing the code. Okay, developers will start writing code. This is the longest phase, I would say, in the SDLC control. Okay, this is the longest phase in the SDLC. Once developer finishes his code, then comes testing phase, in the sense testing the code, right? Code should be tested thoroughly, right? And then deployment phase. Once testing is done, right, it has to be released to the production environment where everybody can access, like that, right? So amazon.in. So if I hit abc.in, my e-commerce site should open. Like customers, they should start purchasing products. Am I done here? No. Maintenance, right? Sometimes what will happen, we need to maintain this application, right? If it goes down, nobody is there to look after, what will happen? I'm going to lose the business, right? So we need to monitor it, right? If something going wrong, immediately should be alerted and I should take an action. Whoever has been developed, they should take an action, right? So these are the 7 phases every organization follows to design, test, develop, and maintain the applications, right? So Sudhir, can I skip any of one step here? Not possible. Okay, if you ask me for an example, Sudhir, can I skip testing phase? Of course you can skip. What will happen? Without testing your application, if you're deploying it, right, it will start giving the errors. So nobody is not going to show interest to purchase anything on your website, right? So none of these phases cannot be skipped. Everything should be done in an order. I cannot directly come and ask a developer, can you write the code? Okay, show me what is your requirement. I don't know your requirement, right? I don't know the timelines. I don't know the budget, right? I don't know the stack. I cannot write without all this info, right? So you do the deployment. Code has not been tested. You want me to do it? If it start breaking it, I'm not responsible, right? So none of the phases cannot be skipped, right? So all the 7 phases should follow to develop an application. Okay, this is about SDLC. Is this clear about SDL? So this is the first point you need to understand, guys. Okay, so they might ask you. No, I think this question I'll ask later. Yeah, any questions? Yes. Anybody has any? You want me to repeat it one more time?
No, sir.
Are we clear, all of you?
Clear.
Yeah. So just come out of this, and generally, if I wanted to take an example for this, right? For an example, I want to construct an house, right? So what do I do first? I'll make up my requirement, right? I'll make my mind like, okay, I want to build a 2 floors house with the 2 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms, like that, right? So this is going to be my first requirement. Then I'll plan for it. Okay, this is my requirement. So do I have enough money? So how many days it's going to take? How many men I needed, right? So I'll plan for it and then designing it, right? So what I'll do, I'll start arranging the all the materials like salt, bricks, cement, whatever it is, and then development. In a sense, your workers will start constructing the pillars and then start the constructing the walls, right? So once they're done, like, I mean, testing in a sense. So owner will come, he will check whether they have constructed, how he has given the plan or not. If it is not like that way, right? So what he'll say, no, this is not the way. You need to do it. You just do modifications here and there, right? For suppose if testing is failed, what we need to do? We need to send it to development. Same way. So this room, he did not construct properly. Okay, I'll tell. Okay, do this modification, right? This is how you need to do it, right? So finally, I'll hand over the house to the owner. He can do housewarming. I mean, general example. Okay. Yeah. Clear, guys? Or still any confusion? Anybody? I
No,
know
sir.
you still don't know like where DevOps is coming here, right? So let's talk about that. So in this SDLC, we have 2 methods. How many? 2 methods, very important. Okay. One is waterfall model or method. Second one is agile. 2 methods. Okay, what are those? One is waterfall method, other one is agile method. So this is the first method. When SDLC was introduced, this is the first method where organizations used to follow. Okay, what happened to this? Why come agile comes into picture? Because this has a lot of disadvantages. It has a lot of drawbacks to work with the develop an application. Okay, if I wanted to put waterfall diagram for your case, see this in waterfall also we will have a same phases like requirement and everything, but here what will happen is, if I am following a waterfall methodology, right, each stage has to be completed before the next phase starts. What I'm saying is, if I wanted to start coding, right? Designing phase should be completed, right? If not, I will not be able to write the code, right? If testing phase wants to start, there should be a code to test it. Okay, there should be a code to test it. So this waterfall model has so many drawbacks, if I wanted to say, because for an example, take this. Take an example in a waterfall model, requirement phase. Okay, for my requirement, I'll just take 3 days to document and discuss about requirement. In the planning phase, I'll take 2 days. In the designing phase, I might take around 5 days. So total 10 days. Okay, 10 days is to start the development. So to start finishing my project, I have only 6 months. Okay, but I have already my developers is sitting idle for 10 days for an example. Okay, it means 10 days developers should wait before we start writing the code. Okay, and the point I mentioned here is, okay, development phase started and this is the longest phase, right? So this will take at least just take 4 to 5 months. Okay, so testers should wait for at least 4 to 5 months, because if someone comes and asks you why you are not doing anything, because there is no code to write, sorry, there is no code to test it, because developers are writing the entire code for developing this application. So it will take, for an example, 4 to 5 months. So here, okay, he took 4 to 5 months and then he sent it to testers, right? Tester takes 2 to 3 days to test the application, right? And he finds the bug, right? He will send it to developer. What will developer do? You need to analyze his entire code. So that will take at least again 3 to 4 days. I'm just taking an example. Okay, so here the cost, because we committed 6 months, right? So okay, let me just, yeah, so we committed 6 months, right? If you are working with waterfall model, right, there will not be a guarantee that we will be handing over our application in 6 months, right? Because the developer has to write entire code. If some bug comes, you need to spend again some days to find the bug and fix it. A lot of things required, right? So time taking, right? So we will not be able to deliver on time, and the budget also get increased, right? Because you are supposed to deliver in this many days, but now it is increasing, so your budget also will increase, right? So and we will not make I mean, we don't know whether we'll be getting the quality product or not. Okay, so maybe if it is start breaking again, he will take months to decode and he will take days to fix that issue, right? So because he is working for entire code base, complete code base he has to write for developing this Amazon e-commerce, right? So there are many drawbacks with the waterfall model. So that's why nobody are interested to use waterfall model now. Okay, I'm not going deep with this waterfall model, okay, because it's not so important. Just understand, okay, the other name for waterfall model is linear sequence. Okay, linear sequential model, in the sense one after another only it will go, right? So Suzy, can we skip one model? In the sense you cannot do that, right, as we discussed. So each stage has to be completed before the next phase starts. Okay, so what is Agile methodology then, right? So we discussed in a waterfall model it will take 6 months, 7 months or 8 months to design and develop and handing over my application to client. But what would I say is, no, I cannot wait for 6 months or 7 months to launch my application. You do one thing. I'll give you a small amount of requirement, right? Like you develop only this page, right? Where users can sign up, right? So later I'll come back. I will tell them to come back after some days. You will get your application. For an example, I'm saying, okay, you just develop this page and give it to me. Okay, this is a small amount of requirement, but I will not give you luxury time. So you just need to take 2 to 4 weeks of time, right? 2 to 4 weeks of time you take it and develop, work with the small requirement. So this time we'll call it as a sprints. Okay, we'll call it as a sprints, right? So sprint 1, I'll get a, they might give you 2 weeks or 4 weeks also, but we are working with 2 weeks. Okay, 2 weeks. So I need to finish this part, right? And then what will happen in the next sprint, in the sprint 2, they will give you another requirement. That is what usually committed, but what will happen, right? So 2 weeks in the sense, so total 10 days, leave about weekends. Okay, just total 10 days. Now in a 10 days, we need to keep 1 day buffer for deploying our application, right? We need to leave it for 1 day deployment, right? At least 2 days for testing. So here in 10 days, developers will only get 7 days for writing his code, hardly, right? So again, is not only writing the code, right? So there are things you need to do manual, right? Like compiling, other testing and other things, right? It's very hard, either developer or tester, to finish it in less time. Even deployment also cannot be done within a 1 day or 2 hours, right? So it's very hard to do that, right? If you do manually, right? If you do manually, right, it's very hard for doing all these things. Like what? Like development, requirement, designing, development, testing, deployment, maintenance, right? All this cannot be done within short time in a manual process, right? So everything should be automated, right? So how it can be automated? By using automation tools, by using the automation tools, right? So here comes our DevOps methodology, guys. So if I come here, say this, here comes our DevOps methodology to automate the work between development and IT operation to improve and shortening the SDLC. I think now you've understood this point, right? Improve and shortening in the sense, okay, how much I can shorten? Suppose developer has finished his code, tester has finished his code within 5 days, they will not sit idle. What will happen? They need to start writing code for sprint 2, the new features, right? They need to start writing for new features also. So here nobody is not going to sit idle, right? Everything will be happening in a continuous manner. If they finish writing the code or testing finishes, so developer need to take up the new feature immediately, right? So this is how the features, this is how the application will be deployed in the Agile methodology. So in a 10 days to automate everything except writing the code. Okay, so here we need our DevOps tools, set of practices and tools will be used to improve and shortening our SDLC Agile methodology. Now clear, guys? So why DevOps is so popular now, and where DevOps is really going to use? Now you understood. So Sudhir, like you mean to say all the organizations are using agile methodology? The answer is yes. Okay, nowadays every organizations are using agile methodology only, right? Just to prove you that. So if I open flipkart.com, alright, I'll take the question, just give me a second. Right, so you see these two-wheelers and all these were not there before, right? Now even petrol vehicles was not there, I mean before 2023, I guess. Now they introduced this option, right? So this feature, right? In future they might add buses and other things also, right? See this, when they started, Flipkart started, all these options, all these features were not there, right? They developed a simple application, they were giving the services. Now they have added everything, right? Understood, all of you? Any questions, anybody? Any doubts? Agile and waterfall and SDLC, any doubts? Or any confusion, guys? No doubts? All are
No doubts, sir.
cool. Thank you. So let's discuss what and all tools are required for this automation, right? So to become a good DevOps engineer, right? Tools, what DevOps engineer should know. I mean the tools part, right? So let us see like what are the tools, what are all tools I need to learn to become a good DevOps engineer, right? And what I'm going to cover in this course. Let us see. With that, we'll conclude later. Okay. So let's go one by one. Yeah. So you will see all the why DevOps is right, like fast solutions, improved performance. You will understand all these things when we go and learn the tools. Okay. So improved customer experience, because I'm giving my application within short time and with a effective product, right? So customer will be impressed, right? Reduce failures, right? So there will be less issues with my code and all. Okay, and I can, if something happens, I can easily roll back. Okay, and faster ROI. ROI is nothing but return on investment. Okay, yes. So these are some tools. I'll put a periodic table about DevOps tools. So there are plenty of tools. Some are open source, some are free, some are enterprise, right? Some are to be paid, right? Premium, right? Yeah. But Sudhir, do we need to learn all these tools in essence? Not really required. Okay. There are at least uh, uh, 8 to 10 tools. If you learn, that's good. So how do you say that 8 or 10 is enough? Right? Because organizations are using those only. Okay, so I could even count what are the tools organizations are using nowadays. Okay, even what and all I'll be covering, right? So only those tools in entire my career also I used. Okay, you go and ask any of the DevOps engineer, they will also tell the same tools what they are, I mean whatever I'm going to cover. Okay, this PPT I can share it with you guys. Okay, don't worry. Yes, first thing is SCM, source code management. Guys, this is just a demo and I'm just going to walk you through on a high level, right? So don't worry, like I did not understand this. So deep dive we'll understand practically and theoretically. Okay, source code management. In the sense, your developers writes the code. Okay, so that has to be tracked, that has to be stored somewhere. that has to be managed. You cannot store it in his personal phone or personal laptop or office laptop, right? What will happen if it crashes, right? So he has spent almost a week or 10 days to finish the code, right? He's going to lose that, right? Somewhere has to be, and if some of the persons wants to, I mean, manager or team leader wants to track that code, from where does he can, right? To do that, say this, used to track the source code. Source code is nothing but code only, right? So we need a source code management tools. So one of the tool which we are going to cover is GitHub. Okay, one of the very important source code management services solution is GitHub. If you ask me what are the others, Bitbucket is there and GitLab, right? You won't find any difference between Bitbucket and GitLab. If you're familiar with GitHub, yes, you can even work with Bitbucket and GitLab too. Next, build tools. So this is more on developers, right? So these build tools will be used by developers to automate their repeated tasks. Okay, there are plenty of build tools. For in our course, we are going to learn Maven. Okay, that is for Java. Okay, so if you ask me .NET, there are MS Build, there are .int, right? For Node.js, there are package managers. Okay, there are some build tools are there, okay, but we are going to cover Maven. Web servers, right? I would say it's kind of a middleware between user and the application. So you will understand. Okay, we are going to cover Tomcat and the Nginx and the application server Wildfly. We will cover in this. This is very, very important. CI/CD, right? If you want to be a good DevOps engineer, right? So you need to understand what is continuous integration, continuous delivery, and continuous deployment. This is where we are going to work, right? So this is the tool, right? Will be integrated with all other third-party tools, and we are achieving this continuous integration and continuous delivery and deployment, guys. I would say this is heart of DevOps, right? This is heart of DevOps. Yes, right? So how do we automate? With this CI/CD tools only. Okay, we will integrate every third-party tool like SCM, like web server, like build tool, whatever it is, maybe containerization tool and other things which we're going to learn, right? So everything we will be integrated with this CI/CD tool and we'll be achieving. Okay, so we are going to cover Jenkins practically, don't worry. And then containerization, very, very important nowadays, right? So this is extension of virtualization, right? So nowadays every organization is into microservices architecture, right? To develop a microservices based applications, we need a containerization solution, right? So that we're going to use Docker. What is Docker? Docker is the containerization platform which is used to package our application and dependencies into a container like this, not like this. This is real containers, right? In this real container, what we'll do, we'll fill up with goods and we will ship it to various places. Same way, using the Docker, I will fill up with my code, my binaries, whatever is required for my application to run. I will fill this in Docker containerization service, I mean platform, and I will be deploying it. Yes, I can even do the ship, right? Yes, what is Docker? Make a note of it. This is very, very important. Okay, so most of the questions will be asked in Docker, trust me. And configuration management tool. Okay, Sudhir, do we have any competitor for Docker? As of now, no, but maybe in future we cannot say. Okay, as of now, no competitor for Docker. Okay, configuration management. if I wanted to automate my software packages installation, I wanted to install Java, I wanted to uninstall it, or I wanted to create an user, I wanted to do something else, patching and all, right? So I cannot log into 100 servers one by one installing the Java application, right? I wanted to automate that thing. How do I do it? Yes, we have a tool called configuration management tools. We have Ansible, we have Chef, we have Puppet, right? So we're going to cover Ansible, cloud services, right? So what is cloud? Everything will be stored in a stored and managed via internet, right? So how our Google Photos works, by using internet, I'll store my photos and videos, and whenever I want, I will download it. Same way, storing and accessing data and programs on a remote server that are hosted on the internet instead of your local computer, right? So I'm going to cover AWS. Yes, if you are really interested, I'm open to teach you GCP. If anybody want to learn, right? By the time you'll be, if you're more interested, GCP. Yes, I'm working on GCP now, Google Cloud. Okay, uh, Amazon Web Services mainly I'll be covering. Kubernetes, very important. Other, right? Very important tool is Kubernetes. We will be using, every organizations are using Dockers. There will be a plenty of Docker containers they will create. Don't ask me what is containers. I'll talk about that, right? There will be a 50, 80 or 150 plus containers they will create. To manage those, we need a service, we need a solution. So here is the solution, Kubernetes. And yes, there is no competitor for Kubernetes. There are, but yeah, more than Kubernetes. Kubernetes is open source, and most of the organizations are using Kubernetes to manage their containerization workload. See here, right? Next, Terraform. It's also open source infrastructure as a code, right? So because I'm going to use AWS, right? So AWS, we can log into GUI, graphical user interface, and CLI command line also. I can create and I can spin up these services, but that is manual things, right? So if you wanted to automate, right? So within, we want to shorten our spinning of the services, right? So we need a infrastructure as a code tools. One of the most popular nowadays is Terraform. And monitoring, so this comes in maintenance phase, right? So once my application deploys, I need to monitor how this performs, right? If it goes down, I should get an alert saying that yes, this has gone down, right? You need to take an action, right? Every time I'll sit on my system checking whether this application is working or not, right? I cannot do that, right? So we need a monitoring solution, right? So here comes one of the popular tool, Neuralink. It's very high level, but yeah, Neuralink, I'm going to Artifactory. I'm not going to tell you what exactly it will do right now, right? But Artifactory tool, we're going to cover JFrog, and Nexus also is there, but JFrog I would prefer. Most of the organizations also working on JFrog. Even my current project also, I'm working with JFrog. It's kind of a binary management solution. So what is meant by binaries? Uh, Something machine can understand. Okay, you will understand all these terminologies. Don't worry. So my course has been designed such a way that if you're a beginner also will be able to easily understand. I'll start with 0, not like 30 or 40 or 50% range. Okay, and then other tools. If you want Bitbucket, I will teach. SonarKube anyhow. Jira, this is a ticketing tool I'll cover. Confluence, this is for project documentation. LDAP, this is for AD authentication. And databases, something like MySQL, PostgreSQL. And we are going to cover Linux, Windows, anyhow, you know already. And yeah, for our internal communication, we are going to use a Slack channel where I'm going to post all the queries and the documents. Yes, everything is documented. I'll provide the materials and we will cover the putty. Okay, and putties and how this works. Okay, let's take the questions and then I'll show you some other things. Okay, me for that. So what and all I'll provide is I can support you for mock interviews. I can even send it for some mock test questions are there. I will send it to those test links once we complete the particular tool, and then I'll provide the materials which I prepare, and I'll help you with resume preparation, interview questions, and we do provide. Okay, I'll not come to recordings. Yes, this is not 100 days. It will take more than that. Okay, timings and everything. I think Ganesh would tell you to tell you. Okay. Yep. With that, I'll conclude. Over to you guys. Okay. If you have anything, please go ahead.
Sudhir,
Yes, please.
Dinesh this side. Actually, sorry if I missed your introduction.
Mhm.
So if you don't mind to introduce yourself first.
Yeah. Hi. Myself, Sudhir. I've been working as a DevOps and AWS cloud engineer from past 8 years. Okay. I'm working in Bangalore.
Okay. Sudhir, my first question is,
Mhm.
if you're talking about the management tool, um, the tool that you have shown to us on the screen, how much is that different? Yes, New Relic.
Uh-huh.
So how much it is different from Grafana?
See, Grafana 2, a monitoring solution. The difference between Grafana and Neuralink is, so what Grafana does, tell me, it will just notify, hey, your application is down. Is it so? Yes or no?
Right, right.
But what Neuralink will tell you, hey guy, see, your application is going to down in the next 5 minutes. You need to take an action. This is what makes difference between Neuralink and other monitoring solution. Trust me, right? Neuralink not like other tools. Okay, this is what, if something is going right, uh, going wrong, right, it will only analyze everything and tell you it is going to down, you need to take an action. This is what Neuralink will do. Okay,
Okay.
it is something like monitoring and observing platform, not like only monitoring solution. Yep, go ahead, Dinesh,
So,
are you
Sudhir,
still there? Yep, go ahead, Dinesh, you still there? I can't hear you. Okay, next please. I can't
okay.
hear Dinesh, but yeah.
So, Sudhir, how much we are going to, let's say we are going to start on the beginner level, right? I can see there's in target audience, we have a freshers also. So as we are from the industry, so on how much complex level we are going to do, for example, Chef, Ansible, Puppet,
Mhm.
these integrations, how much complex scenarios we are going to cover in this training?
Yes, see, you you're going to learn like all the integrations with the one of the major CI/CD tool that is called
Exactly.
Jenkins. Okay, so
Mhm.
first of all, we are going to learn individually, not like okay, I'm going to show you how to integrate and then let's conclude. No, right? So we will learn how this tool is going to work, right? So where exactly we're going to use, then let's integrate and let's see how that works, right? So that will make sense. So directly if I go on, okay, show me like I'll integrate and this is done. No. Okay, so let us understand either it's Ansible, either it's a Docker or Kubernetes, whatever it is. So we will learn individually, right? And I'll be starting with Linux since Linux is the base point. Okay, why you starts with the Linux, you can start with some other tool means, yes, so most of the organizations are using Linux nowadays. So and I'll be showing on the AWS cloud, so where I'm going to spin up the Linux servers, that's why. So you need to understand the commands. Yeah, Ritesh.
So if we talk about Chef for Ansible, then probably we are going to cover 5 to 6 classes each topic that we can say like this.
I will not commit. Okay, so it will be more than that. I cannot come. Sorry, I cannot
Yeah, I'm not
complete
just
Docker.
getting a rough idea. I'm not going on any commitments.
Yeah,
I'm just getting a rough idea
every
only.
tool will take 6 to 8 or more than that.
6 to 8
In
classes. Okay.
AWS, I cannot complete in 6 or 8 days. Okay, so there
Hmm.
are plenty services. It will take 16 to 18 or 20 hours because we need to spin up the services. So that will take some time. I need to show you how that works and everything. And then again Kubernetes, and then again Jenkins, and then again Docker, and then GitHub. So there are some vast services that will take more than 10 hours.
Okay, and on the Kubernetes side, we are going to create our own cluster, or we are going to use anything on AWS or Azure
I'm
side?
going to show you the Kuberium. So that's going to be one of the uh, uh, kind of a production graded cluster setup. You
Okay.
want for Minikube? Yes, I will show you the Minikube also.
Okay. Fine. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Ritesh. Others, any questions? Anybody?
Yeah, hi Sudhir.
Manohar, hi.
Yeah, there is 7 phases in that software development life
Mm.
cycle.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, where is this like a DevOps in that process?
Yeah, so in these phases DevOps is not coming. Okay, so yeah, it's a good question, right? So since organizations are using agile methodology nowadays, right? So my organization is going to give me 2 weeks to complete what, right? To complete my development, testing, designing, deployment and everything, I need to complete in 2 weeks, in a hardly 10 days. Is that possible if I start doing it manually, right? So I needed tools, right? So those tools will I'll be covering under DevOps, right? Those tools comes under DevOps actually. Okay,
No.
so in the agile methodology, to automate everything, right, to faster our SDLC agile methodology, we're going to use some methodology. In that methodology we have some tools to automate it. So here comes our DevOps methodology. Under that we have a DevOps tools.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other questions, anybody? Any questions, anybody? Any doubts?
Just one thing, like
Sudhir,
Yeah, please.
go on, please, Manav.
yeah, as a fresher, I'm a fresher from like in that IT background.
Mhm.
So which challenges I will face in that course, like.
Challenges, yeah, I would not say challenges, right? So if you start practicing and you start asking some questions, right? Yeah, you initially face how to work with all these things, but yeah, trust me, you will get an idea. Okay, once you one if you start getting your hands dirty, yep, you will not be facing all those problems and all. But yeah, I'll be there to support you all the time, right? If you stuck anywhere, okay, you did not understand, come to me. Okay, I'll teach you again and again, not an issue.
Yeah, okay, sure.
Yeah, Ritesh, someone posted a question.
Uh,
uh,
Asim,
Yeah,
I'll.
sorry, go on. Yeah, one question quickly. I'm asking this New Relic and Grafana that Sudhir, that we are going to cover these two also, or is not?
you want me to cover Grafana? I will be able to, but let's see our time and everything. Yeah, Asim,
Yeah.
I think Ganesh will take up this question. Thank you.
Yes, so that after that the completion this course, like any job opportunity you will provide or
Yeah, Manohar, about the placement and everything, I'll talk to you personally. Manohar will ask.
yeah, sure.
So if you have any technical questions, you can ask Mr. Sudhir. If not, we can wind up the session now. So about the placement and everything, fee and the timings and everything, I'll talk to you personally one by one.
Yeah,
Okay.
thanks, Ganesh.
So Namrata and Vaishnav, do you have any questions?
No.
Hello, sir.
Yeah,
Yeah,
please.
Namrata, hi.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, I can hear you. Please go ahead.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, Namrata, I can hear you. I'm not on mute, no? Yeah, I can hear you, Namrata. Are you able to hear me? Hello, guys, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I think Namrata, I think you have some issue. Namrata, we still can't hear you. I think she dropped. I think some issue with her. Okay. Ganesh, you can talk to her later. Maybe she was about to ask something. Yeah.
Okay, sure. So I can say one more person, Vivo V209. Do you have any questions? Okay, then if you don't have questions, then we can wind up for the day. So call you tomorrow one by one, first only.
Yep. Thank you, all of you. Thank you, Ganesh, and see you guys. Have a rest of your day. Bye bye. Yeah.
Ganesh, thank you very much for that.
Thank you, guys. Good night. Bye bye.